Hey, my friends, Maps Coach Hudson here, and I wanted to share a little bit of information and maybe provide some perspective. When we take time to think about things and reflect, I think that we grow a lot. So I wanted to share a little bit with you. And you may want to write some of these things down if you're in a position to do so, so that you can take some impact with you from this video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a number, 5.7 million. 5.7 million. Now, that's the total transactions that were closed in 2022 in the entire country. All right, 5.7 million transactions were closed in 2022. Now, the next number that I'll give you to write down is 4.2 million. 4.2 million. There's a lot of different reports. If you take the average of all the ones that I could find, at least, that's the predicted number of closings that we're on track to have in 2023. So 4.2 million closed in 2023 is what we're headed towards. And we are officially in the fourth quarter. So that's probably pretty close to accurate, right? So that's 1.5 million less closings, or if you want to look at a percentage, 28%. So almost 30% less real estate being sold. Okay. Here's the next number that I would ask for you to write down. 1.2 million. 1.2 million. That's the number of agents that were in the industry in January of 2020. Now, we all know that a couple of months later, this funny little virus came around and kind of messed some things up, right? So in January of 2020, we were at 1.2 million agents, which was at that time the highest it had ever been in the history of the industry. All right, 1.2 million. Today, we're sitting at 1.6 million agents in the industry. 1.6 million agents. And for perspective, especially you can ask your leadership, there's a lot of people still getting licensed. Even though the market has gotten tougher by most of our accounts, people are still getting in like we're giving away free candy, right? So that's a 30% increase. So we've had a 28% decrease in number of homes sold, a 30% increase in agents in the business. All right. Don't judge it. Don't worry about it. I just want you to have some perspective. Now, I don't know how long you've been in the business. I've been in the business since 2006. Now, when the market crashed, it was a little bit all over the place, and yet it was pretty much together. And really, 2010 for most of us was probably about the bottom. So in other words, 2010 is when prices started to climb again after the last big crash. Now, again, yours might be off by a year in either direction. It was about 2010. So that means that at this point, we're now 13 years in to this. 13 years. Now, the average market cycle, if you've ever looked into it or tracked anything, is 6 to 7 years. So we are double the average amount of time on this rocket ride that we've been on, especially the last few years, and especially the last couple of years. And of course, the reality is, right, and I don't take away, like, I bet whoever you are watching this right now, I know you've worked so hard. I know in 2021 you were showing 82 houses a day, and I know it was hard work, and yet the business itself was not hard over the last few years. People were clamoring to buy real estate, to sell real estate, to cash in on their equity, to invest and build a portfolio. Like the market was doing it for us, right? So if we look at all of these numbers that I just shared, especially the agent count ones, what is the experience? What is the experience of agents? And what I can tell you is that the median, I should say, the median time in the industry of a real estate agent right now is 6 years. So if we look right smack in the middle, because that's what median is, it's 6 years of an agent being in the business. Now, I'll do some more math for you. What that actually comes to when we look at the numbers and we look at experience is that 80% of the current agent population has never experienced a market other than the one we've been in for the past 13 years. They've never experienced a flat market. They've never experienced a down market. They haven't really had to worry about price reductions or skills or really, to an extent, negotiating. Because goodness, if you're a listing agent, you just have offers thrown at you. 80% of agents are not prepared for where we are and moving more into now, which is we've gotten out of a market-based market and we're now in a skills-based market. So why do I share all that with you? I share it with you because I love this industry and I know the amount of opportunity that it provides the people who choose to make a living in it. And so there's two types of agents. And I would imagine that whether you like what you're hearing or not, like you could probably agree with this, right? There are the agents that completely just rely on the market. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's just a tough thing to stick with long term, right? There's the agents that rely on the market that are totally good, taking a listing, grabbing a buyer, as long as it means we're just checking boxes and we're getting paid. I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Like, it's awesome to just show up and get paid. And the other type of agent is the type of agent who this is their business. They didn't get their license on a whim, or maybe they did, and things have evolved over time. Like the type of agent where it doesn't matter what the market is doing, it doesn't matter if prices are up or down, rates are up or down, whether we got to get a bank involved to talk about foreclosures or short sales. That other type of agent is a business owning agent, and the houses are getting sold, whether it's easy or whether it's difficult. So my question to you, and the whole reason of making this video, is what type of agent do you choose to be? Now, maybe you have been relying on the market. Maybe you've been in the last few years and you've just been enjoying riding the train, and I don't fault you at all. It's been an amazing ride. The question is that where you choose to stay? Or do you choose to be the other agent? Do you choose to be the agent that's going to get paid and create a wonderful living and live a great life, regardless of the market, regardless of the ease with which it comes? Now, I have no judgment on your answer. I truly don't. If your choice is to be a business agent, the type of person who the houses are getting sold, whether it's easy, whether it's difficult, no matter what it is, then in the current market, we've got to take a close look at who we are and what we're doing. Some of us have some skills that we haven't used in a long time, and it's time to dust them off and probably update some of them because the industry and the world has changed so much since the last time we needed these things. Some of us are lacking a set of skills that would allow us to be a long-term, no matter what, business type agent that doesn't rely on the market. That's okay. You have the ability and the room to grow. Now, as you're hearing all this, if this does anything to you, if this is making you think anything like, oh gosh, okay, so we've got less homes to sell and more agents selling them, and goodness knows that we've been on the upward trend for a long time. So while I don't have a crystal ball, we could keep going up for another 13 years. The odds are certainly not in our favor. We are moving to a very, very skills-based market. We've been in one for the last year. My question is, what are you going to do about it? If your business is up and everything is great and you've got this figured out, then I think you're awesome. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you're sitting there and you feel at all uneasy, like if you've got it all figured out, none of those numbers freaked you out. If you're like a lot of people and some of those numbers made you feel something that didn't feel amazing, then here's my question to you. You know you've got Bold coming up. Yeah, I'm the coach. I have a vested interest. I also know it works. I also know that Bold was created the last time we moved into a skills-based market because we had a whole bunch of people, not 1.6 million of them, looking up going, what do I do? Right? Bold will give you that answer. Bold will give you the tools. It'll give you the mindset. It'll give you everything that you need. So my question to you to end this video is just, if you are not already registered for Bold, why not just join us for step one? It's free. You get free food. We love that. We're going to do a giveaway for $500. You don't have to be signed up as long as you're there. As long as you register and show up for first step, you don't have to pay for the whole class. You are in the drawing for $500, which based off the market might be helpful. So my challenge to you is, if those numbers made you feel any type of way, that you reach out to your leadership, call the office, do whatever you need to do, get yourself registered for first step of Bold. And if you get there and by the end of that day, you're like, nah, this isn't for me, great. Go take the next step to find what is for you so you can ensure that you are that business agent that gets it done no matter what. Or you might find out that it is for you. Either way, you win because you've educated yourself. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. I trust that you're going to make a great choice to help you be the agent that thrives no matter what the rest of the world is doing. Let the world burn. Let it burn. You are a business person and you're going to do what needs to be done and live a beautiful life. I'll talk to you soon. I can't wait to meet you in person.